All right, Mr. Sunil Gavaskar now joins us on the program. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll get to the batting and the amazing century scored by both the batsmen in just a bit. But I want to start by asking you, do you see India batting here on this Mumbai track again? Do you see them wanting to bat in the fourth innings again?
No, clearly they won't want to bat in the fourth innings because the pitch is going to turn quite considerably on day 5. Already it has started to turn a little bit, and so day 5, even chasing 150 is not going to be easy. And that's the reason I think they'll try and extend their lead to as many as possible, so that if they have to bat in the second innings, then they don't have to chase too many runs.
There was, of course, Murali Vijay's century first before Virat went on to score his today. And really the way Virat has been batting, not just today, but throughout the year, it kind of overshadows everyone and everything that's around. However, like Vijay said, there's a lot of criticism against him once in a while, and he tries to keep quiet and go about doing his job. What would you have to say about his knock and the way he comes up with these centuries when people are coming out with their knives, to write things about him?
Well, I mean, he answered them in the best way possible with the bat. When people are talking, clearly, I think you try and shift what is good for you and what is bad for you. There will be a lot of well-meaning people who will be trying to tell you that, look, this is an area that you need to work on. This is an area that you need to look at. So I think he's done that. He's taken that one week off, and I'm pretty certain he worked very, very hard in the nets about the so-called weaknesses. And look at the way he's answered it. Because at the end of the day, no batsman is perfect. He will always have some issue somewhere. But the problem is that particularly when it comes to Indian batsmen or subcontinent batsmen, the moment he gets out to a short pitch delivery, everybody says that you can't play short pitch bowling. Nobody talks about the fact that if you get out to the outswinger, if you get out to the off spinner, if you get out to the leg spinner, nobody will talk about the fact that they can't play spin. But this whole thing, this whole macho thing about being able to play pace is unfortunately has been going on for donkey's years. In my view, I think playing spin is far more difficult than playing pace. I'll tell you why. It's very simple. For pace, there are only two movements, either forward or back. For spin, you've got to hop down the pitch to try and smother the turn, or you've got to go right deep in the crease, again, to try and take advantage of any loose deliveries or to cover the turn and cover the bounce. And that means the skill of the batsman is tested more on pitches where the ball is turning than on pitches where the ball is flying. So my view is very simple. You score runs in India, then you will be reckoned as a top batsman. You don't score runs in India, then as far as I'm concerned, you're not a top batsman. Pure and simple.
Okay, we'll get to the other centurion, Virat Kohli, in a bit. But of course, England's bowlers didn't manage to get him out today, Mr. Gavaskar. Do you see India's bowlers also struggling when we come out to the field?
I think India's bowlers will probably be able to utilize the pitch a little bit better when it comes to tomorrow. Listen, the thing that happens with the start of the day's play invariably is that the roller, the effect of the roller deadens the pitch considerably, subdues the pitch considerably. So that effect can last depending on where the bowlers are pitching the ball. That effect can last for 45 minutes, that effect can last for an hour and a half. So that is the time that when you try and score as many runs as possible. And that's what happened this morning despite losing Cheteshwar Pujara. So tomorrow the pitch will be rolled twice, once when India resume their innings and again when England go into bat. But the more the roller is used, the more those cracks are also going to open. So when England use the roller, they're going to be careful which roller they use, because those cracks might open a little bit more, and which will mean that the bowlers will get a lot more bite and a lot more turn. So batting's not going to be easy in the third and fourth innings.
On one of our earlier programs, you'd called Virat as a man from a different planet. Would you like to come up with a new name, given that the amount of records he's making and breaking the way he is?
Well, he is from another planet. As he showed today,
Yeah.
there was hardly an error. I mean, from the word go, the way he middled the ball, the way his bat speed was coming coming in connection with his feet movement was quite extraordinary. I think the balance that he showed, and then the running between the wickets, that's an aspect of batsmanship that a lot of people don't really realize how important it is. I think everything. I mean, yes, I'd like to think of a new name for him, but I think he comes from an undiscovered planet. Okay, not from another planet. He comes from an undiscovered planet.
Okay, a planet that hasn't even been discovered and doesn't have a name. But he's been at the crease, sir, batting today from the third ball of the day. And even till the end of the day, he was playing these amazing cover drives. Now, what does that say about his stamina, his endurance, and the way he's batting a whole day of Test cricket?
Well, I think that's an example for all young players, because look at the way he has sacrificed. Look, he's got great control over his diet. He knows what he needs to do in the gym for his fitness levels, to increase his stamina, to increase his power, increase the strength in his legs, to be able to stand up and bend down when it puts a strain on your back as well.
Right.
So all that has to be taken into account, and then see towards the end, that last over. Look at the running between the wickets.
Yeah.
The sprinting that he was doing even in the last over. There was no letting up, because he was aware that India needs as many runs on the board as possible. Take a big lead, as big a lead, so that they don't have to chase too many runs in the fourth innings. So he didn't let up even in the last over of the game. And that shows his awareness. Batting is not just about facing the ball, being aware of the situation, molding your game according to the situation, and that's what he was doing.
Mr. Gavaskar, how do you see Virat having emerged as the cricketer and the captain that he has? I mean, if you see, at least his celebrations after 100 certainly look like they are quieter. Today it was just, raising the bat after he reached the milestone. How do you see him having emerged as a cricketer and as a captain?
Well, as a cricketer, because he's one of those willing learners, I think he's tried to get better. When he started as a young player, I think he was in the best cricketing university in the world, the Indian cricket dressing room, which had Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, VVS Lakshman, Virendra Sehwag, Saurav Ganguly, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Now, with these greats around him, he would have observed how they prepare. He would have observed how they react to different situations, and he's imbibed everything from them, and he's brought it to his own personality, his own natural personality. He hasn't let it go subdued it, but he's taken in the good points of everybody else and he's added it to his personality, and therefore, as a cricketer, he has evolved. As a captain, he's still young. As a captain, you can say he's still got a long way to go. He's only 28. And in terms of judging his captaincy, it's only when he's about 34, 35 that we can judge his captaincy. But even in the captaincy, he's showing that he's prepared to learn and get better.
Right. And one question before we wrap up today, sir. He's had a phenomenal year, having scored the most runs across all formats of the game. There are the likes of Joe Root and Steven Smith, who've also had a phenomenal 2016. Do you think, though, is it fair at all to compare between, let's say, these three players, or does Virat just stand ahead of the rest of the pack?
Well, the way he's batted in all three formats of the game, clearly I think he's ahead of the pack. But clearly, when you talk about comparisons, unless they're playing for the same team against the same opposition, it's difficult to compare. But the way he has batted in the T20 internationals, in the World T20 earlier in the year, then in Tests, then in the 50 overs format, I think he leads by a fair distance. And before I end, I just wanted to check with you, because I'm not on the social media and all that. Is there some kind of a tweet from a former England captain about a match-winning score or something like that?
That's not something I followed, but if there is, I shall let you know. I shall let you know certainly about it. Mr. Gavaskar, thank you so much for joining us on the program and your views, of course, on the Mumbai test. We were speaking about
because I was asked the question yesterday.
Okay. I suppose it's Michael Vaughan you're talking about, but I don't think he said anything yet about what a good score would be. Thank you, though, for speaking to us and joining us on the program.